Okay, so we're going to have two Game 7s on Sunday. Knicks Pacers now. And you already know Game 7 in the Garden is going to be crazy. Hopefully Josh Hart is okay. And with how well this Knicks team has persevered through all the injuries, like that would be such a bummer if Hart could not go for Game 7. As far as what happened in Game 6, so this is the crazy thing, man. You can say that the Pacers did not get as torched by Brunson in this one as they typically do. He still had 31, but yeah, he didn't shoot as well. But, I mean, yeah, with the last one being a 40-point game where he shot over 50%, I guess you'll take it if you're the Pacers. In the first half, more so, you saw them do, like, an okay job on, the Halliburton, like, hedge and recovers to where he's not getting the switch on Brunson, or Brunson's not getting the switch on him, I should say. Or, like, Turner high up on a screen, or Isaiah Jackson did an okay job one time on a switch. Like, okay, cool, he still got the 31, and, I mean, I would expect in Game 7, whether it's going for the Halliburton switch, whether it's he's got to make shots over Nesmith, whether it's, the Knicks draw up double screen actions for him, whether it's them getting a bunch of offensive rebounds and you kick it out to Brunson for three, like whatever it's going to be, I'm assuming it's going to be chaos. We did see Deuce once again making plays with screening for Brunson or like making a pull-up three. That's going to be huge for a Game 7. Now, what we also saw in this one, the Pacers, they did not get killed on the offensive glass by the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks ended up with 13 offensive rebounds, which is a number that you will take if you're the Pacers. And that's really got to be the key for Indiana for this Game 7. With the Garden crowd going nuts and the whole thing, it's got to be, yes, Brunson is going to make some tough shots. The Knicks are going to grab some offensive rebounds, but you got to try to contain it enough. And it felt like it didn't become as much of a theme in this game, but definitely it's been a thing throughout some of these games where it's the Pacers being like, if he's just continually making shots in single coverage, then they're bringing two, and they just haven't done the best job at always bringing two to where like Dante's getting a three, or someone else is getting a shot, or maybe it's an extra body not on the defensive glass so the Knicks can crash even more, or it's Josh making a play in the middle of the floor. Let's talk about the Pacers on offense for a little bit. Talk about Siakam as well as Halliburton. So in the case of Siakam, the matchup stuff is kind of something with the Knicks, and I don't totally know what makes them shift, but sometimes it's Josh Hart on Siakam, and other times it's Hart on Siakam, and then it's like Josh Hart, sometimes even ending up like on Miles Turner. And Miles Turner did have one like catch and go with Josh Hart kind of helping off of him for one play. And that play, as well as in the first quarter when Turner just beats Hart off the dribble at the three-point line to get a dunk, Miles' growth on offense over the years is real. It's a fine line with this stuff, because I remember there were at least one or two plays in one of the previous games, I think it was in Indiana, where down the stretch Siakam was trying to post up on Hart, and he just kind of couldn't move him because Josh Hart's pretty strong. But then in this one, he ends up having like a play where he spins off of him on the baseline for a three-point play or whatever. He's making like a couple of long twos over Hart because there were a couple of broken plays in that third quarter the Pacers scored on. Like, I don't even know if I'm making some larger point with that. It's more so just to say, without Anunoby here, I've just been honed in even a little more on just the Siakam face-up, Siakam one-on-one opportunities outside of, him screening for Halliburton or whatever. And to speak on Hallie, while he was able to get like a couple of cooking moments on in this game, like the step back long two that he thought was a three off the, it was Siakam or a Turner screen with a Deuce guarding him, or that turnaround two he had over Deuce. It was like, okay, they did not need him to go crazy as a scorer in this game. Also, he had a couple of broken plays that ended up in like with him getting a three, whatever. Like, it was a crazy little run of broken plays in that third quarter that all kind of worked for the Pacers. But in Game 7, he just may need to be looking for the pull-up and the step back and the floater a lot off of screen actions. And maybe that's just me assuming that he'll need to do that because as a basketball fan, you're just programmed to be like, Game 7 stars got to get buckets. I think another key thing that's going to be huge in this Game 7 is the McConnell and Obi minutes. I mean, McConnell, he's pushing every opportunity he gets, and whether it's the pull-up two, whether it's, dribbling around underneath the rim and like making a great kick-out pass to Nesmith at the top of the key. Like, the thing with TJ in some of these games is like how he's rejecting these screens, or how he'll just be like dribbling as if it's like a routine up the court, and then he'll immediately go into a burst of speed, and then Deuce is a little off balance on a crossover or whatever. What does all that mean for a Game 7? I don't know. But that's the fun part about a Game 7. It's similar to what I was doing with the Nuggets-Wolves thing. It's, DiVincenzo, how many threes is he going to take in this Game 7? Probably at least like 7 or 8. That there were like little pockets of this game where Hart as a passer, like on the elbow or at the top of the key, was an interesting little extra thing for the Knicks. Do I expect him to lean on it super hard in a Game 7? I mean, it's possible. Maybe you lean on that more than, Brunson screen and roll actions all day. I mean, weird things happen in Game 7. I remember the Bucks game plan in Game 7 was Brook, don't guard Grant Williams. We haven't done this at all series. Let's do it today. So yeah, it should be a pretty good time. I'm not going to go super duper long on this one. I did not make a prediction for this series because I didn't do the preview before the series began. Can I cheat and say if Josh Hart is good, then the Knicks will win Game 7? I mean, hell, this Knicks playoff run has been so wild. Maybe even that won't stop them in front of the Garden. Whether it's offensive rebounds, forcing turnovers, Brunson difficult shots, DiVincenzo making, I don't know, 9 deep three-pointers, Josh Hart having like 7 plays where he screens for Brunson and gets inside and draws a foul. Maybe Miles Turner makes 6 threes. I don't know. That's the beauty of Game 7. You have no idea. But yeah, I will take the Knicks, but I think it's going to be a good time.